SGOV is a relatively new ETF from iShares for 0 to 3 month US Treasury bonds called T-bills. But is it a good investment? I review it here. SGOV or SGOV is the iShares 0 to 3 month Treasury Bond ETF. It launched in mid-2020 and has since quickly amassed nearly $7 billion in assets, making it one of the most popular ETFs for Treasury bills. SGOV took in nearly $1 billion in its first 5 months. SGOV is a pretty simple fund. It just tracks an index that holds ultra short-term US Treasury bonds called T-bills that mature in 3 months or less. That index is the ICE 0 to 3 month US Treasury Securities Index, which is rebalanced monthly. Because T-bills are the safest bonds out there, we call them a cash equivalent, and the 3-month T-bill rate is used as what we call the risk-free rate when comparing other assets. Some investors even use T-bill funds like SGOV as a savings account for their emergency fund. The phrase cash equivalent may make you think negligible returns, but T-bills have returned 3.02% annualized historically, going back to 1926 for the US. Inflows into T-bill funds like SGOV have soared in recent months to capture their currently very attractive yield and to take up a safe haven in short-term US government debt issues. At the time of this video in January 2023, the 3-month T-bill rate is 4.57%, and 5% is not out of the question by the end of the year. Even the past 30 days or so going into 2023 have seen record inflows, nearly $10 billion in the first trading week of the year, into short-term government bond funds after fearful investors are fleeing stocks en masse. SGOV has an average yield to maturity of 4.26% and an effective duration of a little over 1 month. SGOV is also the most affordable ETF for T-bills with a low fee of 0.05% or 5 basis points. In its short lifespan thus far, SGOV has beaten its index. So is SGOV a good investment? Sure, if you want T-bills and don't want to bother with buying and rolling a ladder of individual bonds yourself. SGOV is clearly a great low-cost index fund for T-bills, evidenced by its huge AUM and massive inflows in 2023, and it's the cheapest in its space. What do you think of SGOV? Do you own it? Let me know in the comments.